Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Elle.
And we both love soup. We're going to go with kind of a random thoughts.
Deep thoughts.
Deep Thoughts by Jack Handey.
That's right.
For those of you who watch Saturday Night Live in its heyday. A lot of stuff's been going on because it's been a couple weeks since we recorded.
Yeah. You were gone.
You were gone. I was gone. So when last we spoke, we were going to meet up again with the Lefty Ladies, but this time we did it at Cougar Winery.
And our choice. We sponsored this
one. We
threw
threw it out there to a bunch of them. A lot of people wanted to come. The date and time didn't work for a lot, which actually, as you've heard us talk before, smaller groups are better.
Yeah.
I think we figured the magic number is 6 or fewer.
Yeah.
You start to creep up there, and then you break off into factions, or people can't hear, or they're talking over one another, or someone feels stymied, like what happened when we went to the tea shop.
Right. We did the tea shop with our older group, with the
and the whole group pretty much showed up except for 2 people.
Yeah, we had a huge group. This was our bunco group that we've turned into. You pick whatever you want to do.
And we went to a daytime, like a tea shop, where you thought we were going to order the tea towers and then we would have tea, but the way the tables were lined up, the one table decided they wanted wine and charcuterie, and then our table actually got the tea tower and tea, which was great.
The tea was great.
The tea.
Yeah. It was almost like we were in 2 different groups. I really didn't catch up. And one of the people had a great idea, like, let's go around the room and kind of catch up. And for some reason that didn't take off very well. I don't know why.
Some people embraced it. So for a few they had.
Some people embraced it a little too much.
Yes, and we got
a lot of time.
A lot of time spent on it. But everything from
we
how
need to have
their
a timer.
Husband's health updates, where we had 2 husband health updates. We had a wedding update from one. We had one that was announcing that their son was getting a divorce.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then a few that just abstained from doing it, but like the idea, especially if we can do it in a small group, just kind of like. Tell me something that's going on.
Yeah, something that's going on with you.
Because we don't all post that stuff. Some do post pretty prolifically, but when it gets to deeply personal stuff, it's
you
probably
don't really
best
post.
you don't do that.
Yeah.
But the Lefty Ladies, so we had 3 of them come.
What are we talking about?
Pivot back. Yes. 3 of them came, and it was delightful. We sat there, so it was a total of
3 came.
It was you, me,
I thought it was 4.
Sheely, Adeline, Renee, and was it Joy?
Oh, is that all? I guess that's 3 new.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
3 new.
3
in
new.
addition to the 3 of us.
3 of us.
3 that we know.
6. Perfect number. We sat there. We had a couple glasses of wine. Yep. We talked certainly wasn't all politics talk. It was kind of a get to know you type thing. What are you interested in? And a common theme that is coming back, which was sort of our first topic, which is how do you make friends later in life? And they were bemoaning that too. If you're not going into an office, or even if you are, you don't want to, have your office friends you're not simpatico with them, whatever it is. And so, they were talking about what to do. And so we committed that whenever we're doing something, we'll invite them. If you can show up, great. Don't feel the pressure to do if it's not something you're interested in. So actually a few of them bit on our first activity, which is next Monday. We're going to go play pickleball.
And these are newbies. People that are newish.
Tennis players who've played a few games of pickleball.
Right.
We kind of said for the absolute new, go take a couple classes either at the Park District or at the pickleball place, because I don't think Elle and I are qualified to teach.
No.
For one,
I would get really
we don't
frustrated.
have the patience of Job.
No.
2, and
I don't have the patience of anyone, let alone Job.
Let alone Job. So anyway, I think was there this instant? Oh my gosh. Where have you been all my life? No, but I can see some of these cultivating into some fun thing. I'm looking forward to Monday playing with it's one new one, you, I, and Sheila. So should be a good time with them.
Yeah.
And then you took a trip to Solvang.
Yeah, we went to Solvang, and what we remembered about Solvang is it's boring. It's beautiful, charming little town off the coast of California, up in the hills, I guess, in nearish wine country. It's
more Central California.
Yeah, I guess it is. It is all about eating and all about drinking, and it's a Danish town. All the restaurants have Danish themes and
what Abelskivers.
Yeah, and the Abelskivers are the thing to eat. And we got there. It was hot. It was everything closes at 3:00 in the afternoon. It's a bizarro
It
town.
was your first road trip in your electric car.
Yeah, we tried out the electric car, and we were planning on going further past Solvang, and decided because of the electric car, we were a little nervous because we were having some issues finding chargers at work, and we were a little paranoid. Now I think we've got it dialed in, and we would have been comfortable going
non-Tesla
up.
chargers are fickle. So whereas Tesla, 99% of the time, the Tesla chargers are working. Most of them are working. Everything's great.
Right.
The private party ones, it can be hit or miss. And then because there's so few of them, every other brand except for Tesla is using them.
Right. And so we were at one in Orange County, or one in North LA, Thousand Oaks area. And we were waiting. There was 5 chargers, all of them full, 3 people in line in front of us. And one of the guys in front of us said, oh, he lives in Orange County. It's 10 deep in Orange County. And the problem is these manufacturers are all coming out with electric cars because I think they're getting subsidized to do so, but they're not, the infrastructure is not catching up fast enough.
No.
So
it's expensive to build those chargers. Hey, Elon Musk, all you want, but the one thing that guy had a vision for was he built that network.
I'm still glad I didn't buy a Tesla.
He built the network, which is very reliable and is everywhere.
Yeah.
And the other thing a Tesla network does, which I don't think yours do, is it sets a timer. So when there's a lot of cars there.
Oh, no, it does. Yeah.
You're like, oh,
shit.
we almost had a dog taking down our green screen. It was my extent of helping you out. There was as it was about to
yes, as I was about to fall on my head. That's okay. But you're about to be crushed.
So you went to Solvang, but then you kind of tooled up and did a kayaking, a rafting
so
thing.
the whole plan was to go to Solvang and then go to Oxnard, and out of Oxnard there are ships that will take you over to the Channel Islands. And the last time we were in Santa Barbara or whatever, I was like, what are those islands? And I Googled it, and I found out it's a national park, state park? I don't know what they are. They're protected land, and they're beautiful. There's nobody lives there. It's just these little islands. And so we took a boat out there. They got us in kayaks, and there's like caves. You kayak through caves.
And this was a guided tour. You didn't just go around.
Kayak through. You were getting the quit rattling your ice cubes. And it was a guided tour, and then we were allowed to snorkel. I did not snorkel because it was a lot of seaweed and kelp. It was a kelp
it
forest.
Feel like something in my
butt. And I just there was all these little, they're called kelp crustaceans in my footwells, and I was like, I just really don't want those in my hair. So, and I was cold anyway, so I didn't really want to go in.
But anyway, overall, fun trip. It was just you and Casey.
Trip, just Casey and I. We cheaped out and stayed one night in a Motel 6, never again. The next night we stayed in a nice Marriott. So the thing is, motels are so expensive. I think this Motel 6 in Ventura was $130
for a motel,
and it was shit. It was, it wasn't
2 stars,
gross or anything, but it was just like, we had 2 pillows, no more. I couldn't even get more pillows. There was no breakfast. There's no nothing included with that.
But if you stayed in a Marriott, there it would have been what, $400 a night?
Probably, that close to the coast. Ventura is a cool town. That's the other thing we found out. We spent a day in Ventura and rented some bikes and rode around. It was that's a neat little town.
Yeah, so there was a long weekend.
And very
these
fun.
Micro trips we got to do more of. Well, while Elle was doing that, I actually went up to Sequim, Washington, and spent 5 days with my mom,
which was amazing.
Yes, and no one. There was no violence, and actually, it was a really, really good visit. It was almost like everything from the last 18 months was just gone. We did a 36-mile tour to Lavender,
which is amazing.
Bike
Your
ride,
mom
just
did that.
her and I, not with her husband. Her husband's brother joined us, and we went and rode. Got to a lavender farm.
Awesome. I really want to do it. I think it sounds fun.
We should do it again next year. It was super fun. No accidents. Great time. We did wine tasting. We went to eat at some great restaurants. Hung out with some of her friends. One of her friend's daughters is like an artisan who makes jewelry out of natural materials, primarily sea glass and natural stones that she finds or that her friends find, and then based on the stone, she's like, oh, I see a turtle in that, or oh, I see a seahorse, or I see this, and she makes. So I bought a couple of really, really pretty pieces, affordable. They're sterling silver, like statement pieces. My mom bought a few. We got to meet her, and their interesting thing that they're doing is they're a childless couple in their early 40s, and they both have. Well, she can do this from the boat, and he's a tutor, and they are rehabbing a boat that they bought, and they are going to live on a boat,
which is awesome. Yeah.
And so they're going to kind of chase the warm weather. So they're ready to take off. They're at her mom's house right now in Port Angeles, and then go from there. So it was like one of those, wow, life goals. You're doing what you love, making jewelry out of sea glass. You're going to be on the boat. They have one little scrappy dog who I met, who's going to be on the boat with them, and like, wow, courage to do something like that.
Yeah, nice.
Yes. So overall, the trip to my mom was great. Like I said, it didn't. One of her friends even, they hadn't seen me in a long time, so we were sitting there at the winery, and her friend was just staring at me and said, "I just have to ask." She goes, "You have lost a lot of weight." And I said, "Yes, I did." And I kind of looked over at my mom because I knew the next question coming out of this woman's mouth was going to be, what did you do?
How did you do it?
And seeing as how that's been the thing that was the riff with my mom. And sure enough, she goes, how did you do it? And then I said, you know what? I'm amongst her friends. If she wants to try to crucify me in front of her friends, have at it.
Would she really do
because
that?
I'm all about imparting the information about this, because I think that...
I feel like you're very knowledgeable about it. And I think you should impart
because so much of what you read is secondhand, or it's an influencer, it's a marketing material.
Yeah.
Hear it from someone who, I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary with it. It was November of 2022 that I started it. So I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary, and I did. I told the story. She had a whole bunch of questions. She asked if her daughter could reach out to me, and I said, absolutely. And my mom actually was saying positive things about it. And she even interjected with, it made such a difference. You know, she didn't have to have knee surgery. And I'm like, so you've been paying attention. So that was
That's
kind
good.
of like an epiphany with it.
That's nice.
Went to church and I didn't burst into flames.
That's amazing to me.
And she made me stand up at the beginning as a new person and say, I was like, why am I doing this? But it meant a lot to her, so I did that. And then the town of Squim was just, every time we'd run into people, are you moving here? Are you moving here? They want so desperately to have like younger
people. I would love to move there. Yeah, my niece and my sister-in-law just are leaving tomorrow to move to Oregon, and I am insanely jealous. So
I would do it, but then I also went at the best time of year.
I know, this is really the best time of year.
I left here where it was scorching. For our bike ride, I had layers. I actually wound up buying an adorable cycling jacket because it was brisk.
Yeah.
It was absolutely brisk, but in a way that it's like the right clothes felt awesome. And then the sun's still beating on you, warmed you up. Mm-hmm. Winter could get a little rough. I think before I would commit to a full time up there, I'd have to spend a couple winter months to see if I could mentally get past that, because the winters here are just so great.
The winters here are awesome.
That's why I've said the perfect life would be the 6 months here in the winter months and the 6 months there in the summer months, and you would basically have the ultimate.
Casey does not want a snowbird, though. I can't get him to get on
a
snowbird.
Is it all about the Benjamins with that?
Or no, it's the cat.
It's the cat, but they would get used to it.
I don't think so. Look how long it takes Raven to get used to anything. I think he would be a
little extra gabapentin.
Yeah, maybe a little yo gabba gabba for the kitty. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so what else?
That was good. Oh, my lovely husband the other day got into a car accident. Now, before you say, but he barely did anything, he messed up the other person's car bad.
Okay.
Thousands of dollars. So we are scurrying off to, where were we going? Oh, we were going over to Miranda's house, and he's in a turn lane.
I feel like you made a much bigger deal out of this. I know he did damage to the other car, but you made it sound like he totaled your car. When I saw the car,
I didn't know until he took the bumper off that he hadn't damaged all the sensors.
When I saw the car, I was like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's one little...
So what he did was we're at a turn lane, and he decides, I don't want to be in this turn lane. Without looking, immediately puts it in a reverse and kind of guns it and smashes into a little car behind us. And we have a big trailer hitch on the back, and actually the trailer hitch is what prevented the sensors on the Tesla from getting ruined. Because the thing about Teslas is, because of all the cameras, and this is why they're so expensive to insure, is little things like that can cause thousands of dollars. So
damage,
even though it had cracked the taillight and I saw the bumper had pushed in, my first thought was, all those sensors are ruined. This is going to be thousands of dollars of ours. And of course, we have a huge deductible because I figured we're never going to be the one smashing. We have no deductible on the damage we did to that guy. He was great and all, but his whole thing, because our car was bigger and it had a trailer hitch, totally destroyed his hood. So 100% Ed at fault. And
you just like to blame Ed for everything.
Well, let's see what our insurance. They just renewed us for insurance, and the premiums are already just like, ugh. I know that when they go to renew us again in December, it's probably going to be higher. And I'm like, you know what? So kind of chuffed me. But what he did do, Mr. MacGyver, he found the pieces that had cracked on my car. He took off the whole bumper. He bought the replacement pieces, which were $25. I don't know how he found $25 Tesla anything. Replaced them, took off the bumper, junkyard. Inspected it, and made sure that there wasn't any damage to it, popped the bumper piece out. And other than the scrape on the rubber part, you really can't tell anything had happened because the trailer hitch took the brunt of it.
Yeah.
So as in the scope of accidents, it was pretty minor for our car, but it was, I think, about $3,000 of damage to the other car. So we'll see what happens there. But then the other positive thing that happened to us is we went to a trivia at our favorite Chicago pizzeria place.
That was fun.
And we went with Miranda, Brett, Zach, Ed, and I, Ellen, Casey. And
no, Casey didn't go.
Oh, that's right. Casey didn't. He thought it was lame.
Yeah, he's not a big trivia guy.
And first one was music, and we only lost by one. But then the next one was history. We were ready to get up and leave.
Yeah. Because history is none of our topics.
Like,
we admitted that.
I was like, oh, we'll be lucky we get 4 right. By some miracle, because everyone else in the bar was like even younger, it happened to be almost Slumdog Millionaire. They were asking questions that, like, what year was California founded? Zach from middle school remembered 1850. None of us knew 1850.
I didn't know 1850.
And then there was, what was the treaty that ended the World War? It was just ones that we happened to know.
Yeah.
And between
I knew nothing.
Yes.
I have to admit, I think I contributed nothing. Miranda contributed nothing.
I think Brett had one. But we wound up winning, and we got $50 gift card, which you turned around.
I think it was primarily Zach and Ed. And then you came through with one of them.
My Treaty of Versailles.
Your Treaty of Versailles, which I did not know. I really suck at history. That's my least favorite subject.
Yeah, so we had fun with this.
But we got $25, right? $50. $50.
Which paid, our whole bill was like $120 with pizza and beers and over. So it covered almost half our bill.
Nice.
And they do more of them. So I think we're going to do one. He does a music trivia one. Ella and I want to go take our hand at it.
If it's 80s trivia, we're in the gold. But if it's not 80s trivia, and even some 80s trivia, I mean, if it's Journey and shit like that, I'm not gonna suck. But if it's like alternative 80s music, I don't know.
But we had fun. The one negative to it that I would say was, once again, and we talked about it at another podcast, there's just the volume of life right now. It's just loud.
Yeah.
Loud. He felt like he had to be blaring on his microphone, and Miranda was just like a sensory overload.
I'm definitely feeling like I'm on the spectrum these days because I just can't handle that loudness at all.
SpongeBob, I can't see, it's too loud in here.
I can't see, it's too loud in here. Yeah, it is true. That's how I'm feeling. I just feel like it's like when it's loud in the pickleball court, I can't play.
Yeah, our favorite time to play is when, like the other day we were there, only us had the private court. When we first got there, all 5 of them or 4 of them were occupied, and it gets a little loud. But
just
I don't know.
It's discombobulating
how it's going to be today. But
yeah, we'll see. Friday probably could be bad.
So winning trivia, that we
that was
big.
Good about that was a big deal. Yeah.
Speaking of pickleball, so we decided to support local pickleball.
This movie.
Oh my gosh.
So this is hilarious.
Through the SoCal Pickleball Club, they had been advertising that there was going to be this thing that they were calling the Picklefest Movie Festival at our local theater, where one whole theater was rented out, and a local individual who happened to go to school with Zach and played on his tennis team with Zach. Like Zach knew this kid really well in high school. And he was putting on this Picklefest thing, and it was $20.
They had a red carpet.
Yeah, $20, and we're like, we'll go. We didn't go right at 6 when the movie was supposed to start at 9, thank God. But we got there right before they were letting into the theater, so we weren't there for the red carpet pictures and all that.
People were dressed
some
up
people in gowns, and
like
some were
super. They made it out to be like a big deal, and it was a red carpet thing.
And all I knew that it was Pickle Fest. We're going to show some pickleball movies that Jordan and his crew had been shooting. And
I thought it was movie. I think we all went into it thinking this is a pickleball movie. Like maybe it would have been short, like 15 minutes, half an hour,
it was
whatever.
a 40-minute movie, and that many of the actors were local pickleball people. So I'm like, oh, we'll know some of these people. It's a way to kill Friday night. It was $20. It was popcorn. Well, it started off with Elle and I. Elle had a gift card for $25.
Yeah, my sister-in-law gave me. She was like, "Oh, I never go to this theater here."
Yeah, $25. So,
so free.
We got our free snacks. We go up there. We order a bucket of popcorn, 2 drinks, and candy.
And 1 candy, yeah, or 2 candies.
And
which was a package deal.
It was their number 2. $41.
Yeah. Insane. Insane. Now, we go to the movie all the time at AMC. And we have the bucket, the refillable bucket of popcorn.
We buy an annual bucket for $20, and every refill is $5.
Yeah, so it's $5 every time we go to the movie theater, and then maybe if we buy a soda, it's another $5 or whatever. So it's $10 when we go to the movie theater. And that's as much, maybe 15 if we get candy. I mean, we never spend more than $20 at the movie theater, and this was crazy. So my stupid little $25 gift card barely made a 16, dent.
Yeah. And so we walked into the theater, and the boys, because we were late, we got kind of up close front
and
seats.
Personal.
The theater was packed. He had sold out every ticket, which good on him. As we're walking in, one of the guys who checks us in at the pickleball club does one of these about faces and looks at me like, "Oh, you're here." Almost like,
"Why are you
here?
Do you
not know what this is and why are you here?" Turns out, I would say every other person except for us, the reason they were there is they either helped make it, they were starring in parts of it, or they had a relative and or friend,
family member,
or it was a family member of the crew.
Right.
We in no way were affiliated with any of this stuff. Hell, we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And boy, were we surprised.
It was shocking. It was like
watching
YouTube for 2 hours. Was it 2 hours?
It was close to 3. We didn't leave there till like almost 11.
3 hours of
Way
watching
past our
YouTube
bedtime.
commercials. It was mostly commercials with a snippet of video, like YouTube videos. They did have a Holderness video in there, which I love. Which was the best one because I love them. But it was just like, I can't believe we paid $20 for this. It was crazy. The only good thing that came out of it is we got a little swag bag.
So many coupons.
I know, and the swag bag actually does have some really, really good coupons in it. We love the coupons. So you went.
I already went and used one of them. Was a 1 month at Salt and Light. I'm going to call spa,
day spa,
which has cold plunge, red light therapy, sauna, and spray tan, and it literally is 1 month free.
It's like a value of
$120.
Yeah.
So they didn't make me sign up for the membership. They're like, try us out for a month.
And so we have 4 of those because all 4 of us got one. Then there's a coffee shop that's kind of an expensive coffee shop because it's right by my back clinic.
I think they're all expensive.
And every time we go there, when I have a procedure, I'm like, "Casey, go get a coffee." "Oh, it's so expensive. I can't afford those. Those coffees are so..." It's like $5 for just a coffee, let alone like a specialty coffees, like $15 or something. So he will not.
We have like 8 of them now.
He will not go in there, but we have 8 coupons and they do not expire. These people did not know what they were doing when they made these coupons.
I could reproduce these and we could be
totally
in Taza coffee for life.
I could copy these things so easily, but I won't.
And then we got appetizers to Longhorn Steakhouse, appetizers to a free appetizer to Public House.
Steakhouse.
But Public House will do.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll still go to Longhorn. I hate to support them. Doesn't mean I won't.
I won't take their free stuff.
I was thinking we would go do that sometime when we have Zach with us for a movie.
Yeah, we'll go do
appetizers
we'll
at
go
Longhorn.
But so yeah, Pickle Fest. All I can say was just Pickle Fest weirdness.
It was just
it's the best way to describe it.
And it's like the people that were in the videos, the acting was terrible.
The acting was horrible. The film quality, even though he obviously has good equipment, was not the best.
And
the lighting, they needed a sound guy desperately.
Zach, they needed a sound guy. So there are really funny pickleball videos out there. None of them was played. Yes, none of them were played. It was weird. It was weird.
The most entertaining clip in all this was one he didn't do, and not that I'm trying to bash him. I mean, good on him for filling a theater and living his.
I think his
dream.
Real gift lies in promotion.
Yes.
To get
he got us to go there
and to get this theater filled with people. And yes, it was a lot of his family and friends, but still, I mean, that takes some And he did have the whole the step and repeat, the red carpet, all of that stuff. That takes some planning, and it takes some...
Right.
I don't know if that was him or his mom or who did this.
Lisa is pretty,
Yeah.
But the best one I thought was an actual video, not produced by him, which was of the inventor of pickleball.
Oh, yeah, that was fascinating.
And it was, he's died a couple years ago, so this was a couple years old. But it basically was him being interviewed, and he explained how one weekend they were there and they had a badminton court, and he went in his basement, he cut out some paddles, and it truly was. This is how it started. It was missing why did you name it pickleball?
Why is it pickleball? We've always heard it was because of a dog.
Because his dog was named Mr. Pickles or something, but it didn't say that in this clip.
Yeah, but it was really, you're right, that was the most interesting
And it was the first
thing.
part of it, so we're like, oh, this is a precursor to what's to come. It went downhill after that.
I thought it was going to be all that. Like, that would be like a documentary about pickleball. And here's the pros, and here's I thought it was going to be all of that, and it was not.
It was not. It's just the
so
best
disappointing.
thing. Picklefest weirdness.
Yeah, it was weird.
And it was way past our bedtime.
Oh my God. It's a good thing I napped. I napped midday.
And there was popcorn, $41 popcorn, but there was popcorn.
But I did enjoy my popcorn.
Let's see, other random stuff. We did go see, blockbuster movies, right? Right now it's Team Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively. They have the two biggest movies out this summer. And we saw both. So we saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Hard R. I heard it today. It just became the most profitable R-rated movie ever.
Really?
Just crossed that in.
What blew our minds is how many young kids were in that theater.
This thing was hard R.
It's hard R. It is massive F-bombs, massive
gore.
I mean, I would say the F-bomb was dropped every other word,
and just
practically.
Sexual innuendo. It was hard. Very entertaining. I loved it.
Really funny. I liked it because I love Ryan Reynolds. I'm sorry, my sister-in-law and my niece do not like Ryan Reynolds. I was like, how can you not like Ryan Reynolds? I love him.
And then his wife has the screen adaptation of the #1 best-selling book, which
we read.
Yes, called "It Ends with Us." And she is the title character in that, and we went and saw, and
I cried.
Yes, it followed parts of the book very closely, but in order to fit it in a short amount of time, I think it cut out some things, but was very, very good. Enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next one, which is
are they for sure making The Ends with Us?
Yeah,
I just finished that.
So that one between Ryan Reynolds one and this one are just slaying it in the box office.
Right.
Most profitable couple duo since Demi Moore and Bruce Willis when they had Ghost and Die Hard come out in the same
interesting.
thing.
I did not hear that. I'm looking forward to a couple of previews that we saw. I'm looking forward to the Saturday Night Live movie that's coming out.
And Beetlejuice.
I'm definitely looking forward to Beetlejuice. So I don't know.
But then otherwise there's a lot of horror films in advance of the Halloween season.
I feel like there were horror films all summer. Like that's all they're putting out is horror films. Oh, we saw the new M. Night Shyamalan, which sucked.
It sucked. Trap.
I wouldn't say that it sucked. It was just not.
It's not M. Night Shyamalan.
It was not his level. There was hardly any twist at the end. It was kind of a weird premise, and anyway, disappointing. Anyway,
it would have been good if it's on Netflix. Watch it, but don't pay full price.
Gotta move
on.
All
right. Yes. So, all right. Our theme for today.
Oh, I was going to say maybe we should skip the theme. Do we have anything else?
Oh, I was just going to talk about a really cool piece of jewelry I just bought. I'm not wearing. I had it on, but we're going to play pickleball. I guess we
can do a quick. What was our topic du jour? Because it's
So anyway, a piece of jewelry that I found that I love is from a woman-owned company called Awe, A-W-E, and they fancy themselves goddess jewelry. Right now, it's really trendy because like Miley Cyrus was wearing a piece of it. So a lot of pieces are around like
you're so trendy
goddess. But the thing I bought, which I really like, and I'll have to show you, is it's a locket, but it's an intention locket. So you open it up and you put on a piece of paper, like what you want to manifest or whatever, and you put it on so you can change it regularly. It's very pretty.
Oh, it's sort of like my intent thing, only it's quieter.
It's quieter,
and,
and you can change it up, and super cool. I like it. If you're looking for gifts, if people are starting to think about the holidays, because we're already in the middle of August.
Right.
Holidays will be here before it. Awe jewelry. Highly recommend.
I was thinking, should we just skip our topic and go straight to our drinks and we'll save this because we're running out of time. We are off to play pickleball. So speaking of pickleball, we'll skip because our topic is it's a little more meaty than we had so much going on. We were just gonna like
heavy words so lightly thrown would be the topic.
Yeah.
So the drink of the show is J.D. Vance inspired because the absurdity of him and Trump is driving us to drink. And the drink is called Take Me on the Couch.
Which makes me giggle.
It's a light and refreshing gin cocktail, which I made with some sparkling flavored water, a splash of a violet liquor, Esme gin.
It's delicious.
And I was going to garnish it with a little marshmallow pillow, but my marshmallows got hard and I couldn't smash them into pillow shapes.
So we got a little cherries.
Instead.
It's delicious.
And then my soup of the show is inspired by what's going crazy in our garden right now, and that is all of our peppers.
Oh, nice.
So peppers, and came up with a soup recipe. Is perhaps one of the most simple things. Take whatever peppers you have, get some onions, get some chicken or vegetable stock, little paprika, and boil that up, and it makes for an incredibly yummy soup. And you can do the spices depending on whether you want to throw in a habanero or not. So pepper soup.
The garden's interesting right now. We just harvested our grapes. We have Syrah grapes, and I'm going to make jelly, I think. And maybe juice.
But now Casey's saying he's wondering if you're actually going to do it because they've been sitting on the...
No, they're in the fridge. They're not going to go bad in the fridge after 1 week. I'm going to do it this weekekend.
He was criticizing her at game night.
Picking on me. But yeah. And when else did we... Oh, we harvested our nectarines. We had nectarines.
Oh.
So I was going to make pie, but I can't eat it. So
yeah, Elle's on the big diet. Getting ready for another wedding and her cruise.
Yeah.
We did an escape room.
Oh, yeah.
So what we did is this was one back when we started escape rooms 2 years ago. It was one of the first ones we did. And they had a Groupon. And so normally, I think you've heard us say, escape rooms are about $40 a person. Mm-hmm. Well, this was 4 people for $50.
Right.
We're like... I don't remember anything about it, do you? We're like, barely. So we went and redid it, and there were some things we remembered, but most of it, hell no, we actually didn't remember.
We promised ourselves we were not going to ask for a clue, but we got to a point where we were just dead in the water, and I was like, let's just get one clue.
Kind of my fault. I was in charge. I had the
fault.
I had the black light. No, Ed gave me a pass because he goes, that was just funky. I looked at the wall and said, that thing looks like it needs to be lit up, but it was a hole underneath.
Yeah. And as soon as you did it, I was like, I did remember that, but I didn't remember it until after.
So we still finished with 20 minutes to spare, even though that was the one lousy clue
I feel like there weren't that many puzzles in that one,
Well,
shockingly.
we've been not spoiled, we've been having the issue of going to Red Door where it's like, oh my God.
Even, what's the other place that we go to that has
Mine Trap.
Yeah, Mine Trap has really good amount of puzzles, too.
But it was $50. It was midweek.
It was fun. It's still fun.
Yeah. So. Book recommendation is one I just finished yesterday called Unlikely Animals by Annie Hartnett. And I guess I've been kind of doing these books about aging parents type thing. So the underlying one here is about a daughter returning home to help care for her aging, dying dad. And just, it's got some levity in it for sure. It's got some heaviness to it. Overall, it's good. It's light. It's a good summer read. Highly recommend Unlikely Animals.
We're talking about moving my mom, possibly even up to Wisconsin. I don't know. There's some talk.
Really?
Because she's, she had this wound, and so she's in skilled nursing facility, which is quite expensive. After
what does that run in Florida?
$350 a day.
Yeah.
And she makes too much money, or she has too much money to qualify for Medicare to pay for it. So it's
all out of pocket.
Yeah, it's all coming out of pocket. So there's talk about if it doesn't heal within the 100 days that she's allowed, then we might talk about moving her. I don't know. I'm trying to just stay out of it. There's too many cooks in the kitchen.
You don't have
nobody cares what I think anyway. No. And I hate to say it, I don't care. I don't.
You lost your mom a while ago.
I did. I feel.
I lost my dad a while ago. I'm going to go see him in a couple weeks, but I lost my dad a long time ago.
I have no desire to see mom, which is sad, but she's not mom anymore. So, yeah. Anyway, on a better note.
What song's been living rent-free in your head?
I got a feeling deep inside. Oh yeah, that's I Got a Feeling by the Beatles. And the reason because the topic du jour was about how we're feeling, and so that song has been running on loop in my head.
I went a little bit country, just completely randomly.
You're a little bit country.
You're a little bit rock and roll.
Not really. Well, if that didn't just date us, I don't know what would.
Yeah, there we go. And you hate country, this is just such a random. I was going between this one, which is "Some Girls Do" by Sawyer Brown, and
no clue.
AA song. The AA song.
What is the AA song?
By, oh my gosh, what's his name? Where just trying to keep my daughter off the pole, my son's out of jail. The whole thing is, and make sure that my wife doesn't realize she married. I married up, and she married way, way down.
Oh,
was
that's
the line
funny.
from that.
Did that one resonate with you for some reason?
But it came up on my rotation because I was listening to some country. So "Some Girls Do" by Sawyer Brown is just a nice one to listen to. But then AA came on, and I just
kind of
bust out
vaguely
laughing.
that song is ringing a bell. Some Girls Do.
Yeah. It's just anyway. And then Zach, last night for games, we were listening to who was it, Zach? Sturgill Simpson. I like that. We listened to a whole Sturgill Simpson set. He played at Outside Lands, where Miranda just got back from, and her and Zach were debriefing on what the best acts were. And she really enjoyed Sturgill Simpson.
We'll have to look it up.
Alrighty, I think that's all for today.
All right. I'm Elle.
I'm Dylan.
and we both love soup.
Bye-bye.